Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn what are the access specifiers in C++, how to access members and members functions inside the class and outside the class. How to access members and member functions inside the class and outside the class. In the last class already we learned how to define a class. What is the general syntax of the class? Then how to define an object? What is the general syntax of the object? Okay, all of you. Then today, so this is the general syntax of the class. Simply, what is a class? A class is nothing but set of members and member functions. Collection of members and member functions is known as class. In object-oriented programming, encapsulates data and functions into a packages called classes. The class combines data and member methods for manipulating that data into one package. Clear? Generally, a class specification has two parts. The first one is class declaration. The second one is class function definitions. We know already discussed the class declaration in the last class. So this is the class declaration. Then how to define a class? The class declaration is here the keyword that is called class. Class name. The class name is a user defined name. It should not be a keyword. Remember all of you. The class name should not be a keyword. So that is a user defined name. Clear? So in the class name, then there are two sections. The first one is private visibility and the second one is public visibility. Private visibility and public visibility. So in the private visibility, this is a keyword. Private is a keyword, then it follows colon operator. This follows colon operator, variable declarations and function declarations. This is the public visibility, then public is a keyword, then it follows colon operator. Here variable declarations and function declarations. Then the class declaration is similar to structure declaration in C language. The keyword class is used to declare a class. Clear. The body of a class is enclosed within braces and terminated by a semicolon. Semicolon. This is the body of the class. So that is enclosed within curly braces. So the class should ends with semicolon. Clear all of you? Semicolon. Then this is the example of the class. Example of the class. Clear? So simply, in this example, then class item is a user defined name, class is a predefined word, that is called keyword. Clear? How to declare class? Simply here class item number, that is an integer data type, that is a private visibility. Why? Because the default visibility is called private visibility. In C++, we didn't mention any access specifier. The default access specifier is private. Clear? Then the next one is public. This is the method or function, member function in the class void get data. Void get data. Then these two are the parameters. Clear? All of you. Then this is the class example. Then how to define an object? How to define an object in the class? Then this is the declaration of an object. Simply your class name and object name. So the general syntax is class name and name of the object. Here the class name already. So in this example, the class name is item. In this example, the class name is item. So then these are the members and member functions. The how to create an object, the class name, that is an item and object name. Here object name is called x. X is an object. Clear? The declaration of an object is similar that of a variable of any basic data type. Clear? Here integer a, basic data type integer a, for example. Okay. Then here float x, then the next one double y. Clear? Here character yes, etc. Same, similar. But here we should use class name and user defined name, that is called our given name x. So this x is an object, where x is an object. Item is a class name where x is an object of the class. Clear? Here x occupies how much memory? Then here what are the members in this class? No. For example, number occupies 4 bytes memory in C++. Clear? Because it is an integer variable. This is a long integer variable. Then it occupies 4 bytes memory. So then here x is an object. Object occupies the total members of in the class. The total members in the class. How much memory occupies those members? That much memory occupies x. Clear? Then here I want to declare multiple variables with the same class. I want to declare multiple variables with the same class. Then here item AB, comma obj. Item AB, obj. Then these three are the A, B, obj. Three are the objects. A occupies 4 bytes memory, B occupies 4 bytes memory, then obj occupies 4 bytes memory. Why? Because these three are the objects of the item class. So A, B, obj, these three are the objects of the item class. So each variable, each object occupies 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes. Because here how many members are there? Only one member. N number NO. Here NO occupies 4 bytes memory. Then here item A occupies 4 bytes, B occupies 4 bytes, and OBJ occupies 4 bytes. Here fixed length memory blocks. Clear? Then this is the declaration of object and item A, B, OBJ, multiple variables with the same class. Clear? All of you? So then the next one, okay, we know then here private and public. Private and public, these three are the access specifiers. These three are the private, public, these two are the access specifiers. One more access specifier is available, that is private, protected, that is used in inheritance concepts. We will learn in inheritance concepts. Here private, public and protected, these three are the access specifiers. Simply in end examinations or mid examinations, then there is a question. Okay. Then what is an access specifier? Explain about various access specifiers and their scope. So they will ask a question. So important, these three are the access specifiers. So then how to form a question? What is an access specifier? Then explain about various access specifiers and their scope. Clear? What is an access specifier? The access specifier specifies the accessibility of the data members declared inside the class. Clear? Then how to access the data members of the class? Those variables are declared inside the class. Clear? Then these three are the access specifiers. They are public, private and protected. How many? There are three types of access specifiers. Clear? Are visibility modes. Access specifiers are also called visibility modes. Clear? Then the access specifiers, there are three types: public, private, and protected. Here public. Public keyword can be used to allow objects to the member variables of class directly. So we already learned global variables and local variables in C language. So once we have to define the variables in globally, so we can access anywhere in the program. Clear? Same situation here repeats, but the keyword is public keyword. So we should mention the public keyword. Once we have to define the variables in publicly, we can use directly in the programming, C++ programming. Clear? The keyword public, the keyword public followed by colon operator. The keyword private is also followed by colon operator. The keyword protected is also followed by colon operator. Clear? It means to indicate the data member and member functions that are visible outside the class. Clear? Then the next one is private visibility. Private visibility. Here a keyword. The keyword private. Clear? Private is a keyword used to prevent direct access to member variables of functions by the object. It is the default access specifier. Private is the default access specifier. The keyword private followed by colon operator. The keyword private followed by colon operator. Clear? Followed by colon operator. It is used to make data member and member functions within the class only. Once we have to define the data members and member functions in the class, those members and member functions we can access inside the class only. Clear all of you? So then this is the example of private members and member functions. Clear? This is the example of private members and member functions. Here private integer x comma integer y. For example, private integer number. I didn't mention keyword private because the default visibility is private visibility. It will take the default access specifier that is called private. Clear? Then the next one, last one, protected. So protected access is the mechanism same as private. So this is also a mechanism. This is same as private. So protected is a keyword. Protected is a keyword. It is frequently used in inheritance. Private members are not inherited at any case, whereas protected members are inherited. Clear? So simply the protected access specifier as visibility mode we will learn in inheritance concepts. Clear? So the private members are not inherited. What is an inheritance? Extracting data. What is an inheritance? Extracting data from the base class. A new class deriving data from the base class for the old class. Clear? A derived class is accessing the data from the old class. A new class deriving data from the old class. The old class is known as base class. Then the new class is known as derived class. Clear? So then in inheritance concepts we should use two classes. Okay, at least two classes. On that situation, the protected variables, once we have to define the variables in protected, so we can access the derived class in privately. So all of you, Then the private members, we cannot access another class. That's why, so here protected variable is used to define data members and member functions. Clear? Later we will discuss in detail of the protected variables in inheritance concept, fourth unit. Clear? All of you? Then protected access is the mechanism same as private, but it is frequently used in inheritance. Private members are not inherited at any case, whereas protected members are inherited. The keyword private followed by colon operator is used to make data member and member function visible within the class and its child classes. Clear? So in detail we will learn later. So next, what is a member function? How can you declare member functions? What is a member function? How can we declare member functions? The member functions are defined in two places. The member functions are defined in two places. They are inside the class and outside the class. Inside the class and outside the class. So inside the class, your member functions can be defined immediately after the declaration. Inside the class, the function by default act as inline functions. Clear all of you? So simply, so inside there are two ways to define member functions. The first one is inside the class and the second one is outside the class. Inside the class and outside the class. Clear all of you? Then simply inside the class, so the functions can be defined immediately. The functions can be defined immediately after the declaration inside the class. This is an example program. This is an example program, all of you. Then here class, the class name is inside member functions. The class name is inside member functions. This is given by as user can given the class name. So this is a keyword. Then integer number and float amount. These two are the members of this class. The access specifier is private. I didn't mention, but the default visibility is private visibility. Clear? Then, so then here two ways we can define member functions. The first one is inside the class. Okay. Member functions can be declared immediately after the declaration inside the class. Then here public void get data. Then this is a member function. Then these are all the statements available in the function. So inside the member function define inside the class. Clear? Then the next one, void get display. Void display. This is also another member function. This is also defined inside the class only. Clear? All of you. Then these two are the public visibilities. Void get data, void display. Clear all of you? So then these statements enclosed within pair of curly braces. So then that means here function begin and function close. Function begin and function close. Here void display, then function begin, function close. This is the block of statements. Clear? Then the next one is class close. In this main function, then this is a void main. So every C++ program should have one function that is called main function. Then there is no main function, we can't do anything. Clear? Then there is no main function, we can't do anything. Then in this main function, first of all, we want to define a class variable. So inside member function, here obj is a variable. is a variable. So it is an object of the class item member function. It is an object of the class item member function. That is the variable of this class. What is a variable? What is an object? It is an instance of the class, or it is a variable of the class. Clear? So it is a variable of the class. The class name is inside member function. Clear? Inside member function. Then how to access the members and members, how to call the members and member functions of the class. Then here we should create an object obj.getData, obj.display. Then what is the general syntax of the calling member functions of the class? Here this is the object name, then operator, then getData member function. So this is the general syntax to calling member functions. The first one is object name, object name. Then the next one is operator. Here obj is an object name, operator is dot operator, then getData is a member function. Clear? Here object dot getData, object dot display. So simply object dot getData, the control go to this method function declaration, that is void getData, read number and amount. Clear? Then the next one is control go to return back. Then what is the next statement? It follows this statement obj dot display. Then the control go to display function. Then read display number and amount. Clear? Then the control return back. Then gets hits. The control start with main function and also the control ends with main function. Clear all of you? So in the C++ programming language, the control start with main function and also ends with main function. You can take Java programming, you can take C language programming, same concept. The control start with main function and also ends with main function. Clear? Then control the process completed. Clear? Then what is our concept? So the member functions are defined inside the class. There are two ways to define member functions. Clear? The first one is we can declare inside the class. We can define inside the class. And the second one is we can define outside the class. Clear all of you? This is the example program for declaring member functions of the class inside the class. Clear? Then I want to execute this one. Simply compile. How to compile? Alt F9. Okay. No errors and no warnings. Success. Press any key. Here warnings, errors 0. Success, press any key. Then Control F9 for running a program. So it will ask enter number. Enter number. Then this is your number 143. This is an input. Then the next one, enter amount. Here, for example, here 78,000. 78,000. This is an amount. Then, so your number is 143. Your balance amount is 78,000. This is an output. Clear all of you? This is an output. All of you clear? Then access the members and member functions. Here member functions defined in two ways. The first one is inside the class and the second one is outside the class. Clear all of you? This is an example for defining member functions inside the class. Clear? Then the next one is define member functions outside the class. Define member functions outside the class. Clear all of you? How to define member functions outside the class. Here public void. So void is simply get data, public void get data. Then the next one, void display. Then the next one, class close, then semicolon. This is declaration only. Here functions we can define in three ways. The first one is function declaration. These two are the function declarations. Then this is the function calling, so the function definition, and inside the main function, this is called function calling. Clear all of you? Then the next one is here void class name, that is in underscore. What is the name of the class? In underscore member function, in underscore mem underscore fun. Here that is double colon operator get data. Clear? Then the next one, so this is also void in underscore mem underscore fun function. So then a double colon operator display. Clear all of you? Then here simply how to access the member functions outside the class, how to define two ways. The first one is inside the member function, second one is outside the member function, outside the class. How to define member functions outside the class. So we know then here is one operator is occurred. What is an operator? Here double colon operator. That is called scope operator. SCOPE, scope operator. So outside the class, our concept is discussing. What is our concept? How to define the member functions outside the class. Clear? So outside the class, member functions that are declared inside a class have to be defined separately outside the class. Their definitions are very much like the normal functions. The main difference is the member functions incorporates a membership identity label in the header. This label tells the compiler which class the function belongs to. So then here simply void item member function. Clear? This is the member function of this item member function class. The main difference is the member function incorporates. This is the get data member function incorporates this class inside member function class. Incorporates a membership identity label in the header. Clear? This is the label inside member function double colon operator. That is a scope operator. So then we want to define the member functions outside the class. We should follow this syntax and this operator. Clear? Here return type, class name, scope resolution operator, and get data. Then the next second function is also same. Void inside the member function, scope resolution operator, then member function. Clear? So then void is a return type, then class name and display is a member function, then scope operator. Clear? So we want to define member functions outside of the class, we should use scope operator. Clear? That is called double colon operator. So double colon operator. Clear all of you? Then this is the definitions of functions outside the class. Two ways. The first one is inside the class. Second one is outside the class. The member functions defined inside the class, outside the class. This is an example program for to declare member functions outside the class. Clear all of you? With the help of scope resolution operator. So here get data, that is, so incorporates with this class. Clear? So simply it identifies this is the member function of this class. Already we declared void display, void get data. Clear? These two member functions are defined inside the class. Then the declarations here simply here declared outside the class, simply void inside member function scope operator get data. Then this is also same procedure. Then how to define an object of the class inside member function, same as the previous example. Then how to call the member function here, obj dot get data, obj dot get data. Then also next one is obj dot display, same previous example. Clear? This function callings. Then function callings here, function definitions and declarations. Clear? Three ways. Then the first one here, control start with main function. So here simply define an object of the inside member function class and call the member function void get data, then void display, stop the process. So all of you see, compile this program, how many errors are there? Then here no need to use this one because already defined, closed, class closed here. Clear? All of you. Then compile, how many errors? Errors are 0, then warnings also 0. Success, press any key. Then control F9 for running your program. Enter number here 1, 2, 3. Then amount equal to 65,000. Clear? This is an output. Your number is 123. Your balance amount is 65,000. Clear? How many ways to define or declare the member functions? Simply there are two ways. The first one is inside the class and the second one is outside the class. Member functions. So we can define it in three ways. The first one is member function declarations, next one definitions, and function calling. Clear? Function callings are inside the main function, then these two are the outside the main class, then these are the declarations inside the class. Simply, so what are the members and member functions defined inside the class? Clear? Then we can call or we can implement those member functions outside the class. Clear? This is an example program for define member functions outside the class. Clear? Remembering all of you. Then void class name. Class name is an inside member function, that is our user defined name, class name. Then get data. So then there is a scope resolution operator, that is called double colon operator. Clear? Double colon operator, this is called scope resolution operator. Without using this, it will not execute. We will get syntax error. Clear? For example, then so many I removed. How many errors are there? 3 errors. What is an error? Simply size of in member function is unknown or 0. So that is the syntax error. Simply that's why we should give double colon operator. The name is called scope operator, resolution operator. Clear? All of you. So now compile, how many errors, how many warnings? No errors and no warnings. Clear all of you? Then this is the scope resolution operator. We can call the members and member functions outside the class. We should use outside the class. Then we should use double colon operator. Clear? This is the general syntax of the member function declaration outside the class. Here void is a return type, then class name and member function name. This is a scope operator. Clear? This is a scope operator. So member functions we can define in two ways. The first one is inside the class, second one is outside the class. Clear? Then what are the characteristics of the member function? 2 marks question. What are the characteristics of the member functions? The member functions are accessed only by using the objects of the same class. Clear? The first characteristic is the member functions are accessed only by using the objects of the same class. The same function can be used in any number of classes. Clear? The same function can be used in any number of classes because so the first class member name, second class member name, third class member name, all are same, but the classes are different. Clear? So that is the second characteristic. The same function can be used in any number of classes. Clear? Then the private data or private functions can be accessed only by public member functions only. Clear? The private data or private functions can be accessed only by public member functions. Clear? These three are the characteristics of the member functions. Clear? Next, how can we declare outside member functions as inline? Explain with example. Tomorrow we will discuss. Clear? So tomorrow we will discuss. Maximum I will send second unit material. So tomorrow. Okay? Clear? All of you? Bye.